Gulfstream Park, located in Hallandale Beach, Florida, is one of racing's crown jewels. Its annual meet, which spans January through April, is one of the most important venues for the game in North America.
It's always been, a special place for winter racing, and, it focuses so much on three-year-old racing, which, obviously is the focal part of all of racing this time of year with the Triple Crown coming up.
For us as jockeys, if you're looking to win the Kentucky Derby, it appears to me over the last few years, if you're not in Florida, you can't find one.
And Big Brown has done it! Big Brown, undefeated, on his way to Louisville as he wins the Florida Derby!
It's definitely a really nice atmosphere here in Gulfstream Park. It's definitely a tough place to come in the wintertime. There's a lot of people coming from Kentucky, New York, Canada, and all the different places.
One of Florida's oldest racetracks, Hialeah Park, began racing in 1921. 18 years later, Gulfstream Park first opened its doors on February 1st, 1939. 18,000 spectators attended the initial four-day race meet.
In the early days, it was a rivalry like the Yankees and Red Sox was a rivalry. One was the hammer, one was the nail, and Gulfstream at the time was the nail when it first started. But it gradually picked up speed, public esteem, and in the late 40s, it became a viable contender with Hialeah.
Hialeah was the big thing, always had the middle dates. And they used to swap the before dates and the after dates with Tropical Park, the racetrack over near Coral Gables. I think it was 1972 was the first year that they got the middle dates.
At that point, that's when Gulfstream went on an equal footing with Hialeah. Eventually, it surpassed Hialeah because it could prove to the state that it was making more money for the state.
Gulfstream Park fought much more than its competition in its early days. The track was closed during World War II and wasn't reopened until 1944 for a 20-day meet by new track owner James Don.
He was a colorful figure. He loved the sport, he loved the people involved in it. He left an imprint that remains in much of the spirit of Gulfstream. Have fun at the races.
We used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get on horses until 10 and then go to the beach. In fact, in those days, we used to be able to ride the horses from Gulfstream Park to Hallandale Beach, which was like a mile down the road, and we'd ride them down the shoulder of the road with the cars on there, and the police knew we were doing it, and we'd go to the beach and swim the horses in the water, in the ocean, and then ride them back.
There must be something in the water because Gulfstream Park has been the stomping ground for countless racing titans over the years and lays claim to a rich history of significant races. The Florida Derby at Gulfstream Park became the first stakes race in Florida with a $100,000 purse. Although Dark Star lost the 1953 rendition, he went on to beat Hall of Famer Native Dancer in that year's Kentucky Derby.
That's Dark Star on the rail, holding on. Native Dancer is closing fast. Dark Star is driving. Native Dancer is catching him. Dark Star holds on and is whipped under the wire to win by a head over Native Dancer.
In 1956, Swap set a then world record for 1 mile and 70 yards while carrying 130 pounds in the Broward Handicap. In 1994, Gulfstream enjoyed the most successful meeting in Florida history. Holy Bull won the Florida Derby and would go on to be named Horse of the Year. In 1995, Cigar was the story at the 63-day meeting, winning the Don and Gulfstream Park handicaps en route to an undefeated season and Horse of the Year honors.
And here he is, the incomparable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar!
Other champions to strike gold at Gulfstream Park include Bold Ruler, Kelso, Forgo, Spectacular Bid,
and Spectacular Bid is going to win the 105th running of the Kentucky Derby.
Skip Away, Barbaro,
Barbaro's got him! Barbaro wins!
and Big Brown.
It is Big Brown by 5 on the wire!
Gulfstream Park has also been a land of plenty for numerous Hall of Fame jockeys over the years, including Jerry Bailey and Puerto Rican native Angel Cordero Jr.
I came in, I think it was in '81, to stay here for 2 weeks. And I won so many races in the 2 weeks that I decided to stay another 2 weeks, and I broke the record for races winning in less than a month and a half, and then I left. So of course somebody passed them already, but that was very memorable because I was planning to stay here for 2 weeks and just everything worked out so good. Everything was like handed it to me. I just kept running from everywhere.
In September of 1999, Gulfstream Park was sold to Magna Entertainment Corporation, and plans were soon hatched for a massive renovation of the facility in order to keep Gulfstream Park healthy in a new era of racing.
We no longer get the crowds of 40,000 that once came here. It's a nod to a reality that's current. So we want to make this streamlined, comfortable for those who do come here, and we want to put in added attractions.
It's a track that for many years hosted 2 meets in the winter. For Magna, we looked at it as making it a year-round entertainment venue. It was one of those paradigm shifts in an industry that we were looking for, and with that came looking at the history being cherished but the change being welcomed. There were other people who had looked at an urban center for a major U.S. sport facility, an arena, a football field, a baseball stadium. Most of them have gone into tight urban infill situations. Gulfstream Park sits on 260 acres, and we decided that we would create a shopping experience as a destination, but with a sport anchor, and our sport anchor is the sport of thoroughbred horse racing.
You can't tell, but the competition down here is so keen for the gambling dollar with the Hard Rock Cafe and the Greyhound Racing and other slot facilities, you know, that this, you kind of take a step forward or those guys are going to leave you behind.
Only 3 short months after the conclusion of the 2004 meet, the old grandstand, clubhouse, and most of the backside barns were leveled to the ground. For the 2005 meet, temporary structures were used as work progressed on a brand new grandstand and state-of-the-art clubhouse.
I've been here since the beginning when they took everything down. So it was definitely a tough place to be around, and naturally we had to go from the old jockey's room to a temporary jockey room they have.
We had huge tents erected, almost football field-sized tents, and we had a couple of those. And we also had a couple trailers. I had a trailer for the press. That's actually lovingly referred to as the tent meeting. A lot of people look back on that and recognize it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like the fair meets that you might see in Maryland or even Massachusetts around in there. We conducted racing as we ordinarily would do, but it was an elongated racetrack from 1 mile to 1.1 miles. The turf course was widened from 80 feet to 170 feet.
We got a 1 1/8 main track, which is an interesting change because it kind of eliminates the 1 1/16 option for 3-year-olds. Kind of forces some horses to run a 1 1/8 maybe a little sooner than they have, but it's also paid off if you look at, you know, the results of the Kentucky Derby the last few years. Gulfstream and the Florida Derby have been a big part of that. So that's one big change, and obviously the turf course is a huge improvement because we got so many different rail settings. It allows a lot more turf racing than we used to have with the 7-furlong turf course.
Today, Gulfstream Park represents a new standard for the future of horse racing. It's often referred to as a Disneyland for grown-ups. In one place, you can find racing, fine dining, music, shopping, nightlife, and a plethora of gaming options.
There could be 4 people in a car and they could get out and they could all walk to our complex and all 4 of them do something different. One could be betting horses, one could be playing poker, one could be playing slot machines, and the other one could be sitting and having a nice cocktail at the lounge.
Florida is now going to be more than just South Beach or Las Olas. There's a place now called the Village at Gulfstream Park.
They have the casinos and they have bars and they have music and they have all kind of things going. Now you could come and entertain yourself. The first year was kind of tough. Anything you do the first time, it's kind of tough for people to get used to it. They still remember the old racetrack, oh, I remember the old, you know. But things change and you got to change with time.
I think this is a more of a boutique type of track than probably Santa Anita with its massive grandstand. And if there were 3,000 people in the grandstand at Santa Anita, it doesn't look like anyone's there. This place looks packed if there's 3,000 people here. And I'm not so sure how many are here, but it definitely is always crowded. And you get that feel like you're in a party atmosphere.
We have tiki huts. We've laid down a lot of beach sand, and we want to attract a younger crowd, and we also want to introduce them to horse racing, and we think we're getting that. We're tailoring our advertising in non-racing, non-sports newspapers to the fact that you can come here and have a really good time. You might meet somebody, have a lot of fun with them, and at the same time, we're trying to give them proximity to the horses.
You will notice that the pedestrian mall and all of our avenues flow to the walking ring. It is our central focus to attract new audiences to horse racing. We believe that people understand and know the horse, but not many have had that opportunity to come to a racetrack unless you're vested in the sport in some way.
I think there are definitely some that are, lured to the building for other reasons now other than the racing, and if you gain a few racing fans out of that, that's a positive thing, and maybe the mall will have the same effect. You'll get some people that'll go over shopping, get curious, come over here, and if you grab a couple of new customers a week, then it's a positive thing.
Can't wait for the mall to be completed because it looks like it's going to be just fantastic. It looks like it's going to be a luxury shopping mall, not anything, all looks first class.
You can go in there, look to buy some shoes, and you'll walk out, and you could be looking into a walking ring where millions of dollars worth of horses are down there. There'll be a buzz in the air, and you might want to just walk down the stairs, and you're right there.
In our present form, we have 2 casinos. We have a first floor casino, and we have a second floor casino. And our first floor casino is a sports bar feel. It has everything, all the action in one room. We've got live poker, 20 live poker tables. We've got slot machines. We've got simulcast and live horse racing. We've got a bar, and we've got some food outlets. So it's a great sports bar type feel. Our second floor casino is a little more traditional, like a Las Vegas style casino. It's a beautiful casino with a whole array of slot machines from penny slot machines to 25-cent slot machines. We've got $100 slot machines. So we've got something for everyone. I'd like to grow the slot machine business as much as we can, because as we grow the slot machine business, we're able to add to the horse purses. And as we add to the horse purses, we'll be able to raise the quality of our racing even higher than it is in present day.
When they do have big races and good horses, people show up. They show up, and I think eventually in the future they'll show up more because they're planning to do more things, more acts and shows and stuff like that. And people will come. But the horses is the main thing, We all love horses, and that's the main thing here.